Once upon a time, in a small, cozy village, nestled among green hills, there lived a young girl named Bella. Bella was known for her bright smile and her adventurous spirit. She loved exploring the woods and meadows around her home, always curious and full of wonder. One sunny afternoon, while Bella was wandering through the forest, she stumbled upon a hidden clearing. In the center of the clearing, she found something shimmering in the sunlight. It was a delicate cape, as light as a feather and as shiny as a star. Bella reached out and touched the cape, feeling its smooth fabric between her fingers. Excited by her find, Bella draped the cape around her shoulders. To her amazement, she suddenly became invisible. She could see everything around her, but she couldn't see herself. Bella giggled with delight, thinking of all the fun she could have with this magical cape. Over the next few days, Bella had a wonderful time with her invisible cape. She played tricks on her friends, sneaked past her parents unnoticed, and even startled a few villagers. It was all in good fun, and Bella felt like she was on top of the world. However, things started to change. Bella began to use her invisibility to avoid chores, skip school, and hide from her problems. She no longer faced challenges head-on, but chose to disappear instead. Her friends started to wonder where she was, and her parents grew worried about her strange behavior. One day, Bella's best friend Lily came to her in tears. A group of older kids had been teasing her, and she felt alone and scared. Bella, hidden under her cape, heard everything, but felt unsure. She wanted to help Lily, but she also wanted to stay hidden and safe. That night, Bella lay in her bed, thinking about Lily. She realized that even though she was invisible, her problems and responsibilities were not. She understood that being brave wasn't about hiding from scary situations, but about facing them, even when it was hard. The next morning, Bella took off her invisible cape and went to find Lily. Together, they talked to their teacher about the teasing, and Bella stood by her friend's side, feeling braver than she had ever had while invisible. And so, dear listener, Bella learned an important lesson. True bravery is not about hiding from our problems, but facing them with courage and helping others along the way. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams be filled with adventures where you face challenges with bravery and kindness. Remember, you are stronger than you think, and you don't need an invisible cape to prove it. Once upon a time, in a peaceful neighborhood, filled with rows of colorful houses and beautiful gardens, there lived a cat named Whiskers and a dog named Rover. Whiskers was a sleek black cat with bright eyes, and Rover was a fluffy golden retriever with a wagging tail. They lived next door to each other, but had never spoken a word. Whiskers loved to spend her days lounging in the sun and gracefully leaping from fence to fence. Rover, on the other hand, enjoyed running around in the garden, barking joyfully at the birds and playing fetch with his owner. They seemed like they were from two different worlds. One day, a new family moved into the neighborhood with a little boy who loved to play outside. Both Whiskers and Rover were curious about the new arrival. They found themselves hiding behind the same bush, watching the boy play. As they crouched there, Whiskers' tail accidentally brushed against Rover's nose. Startled, Rover let out a loud bark, and Whiskers hissed in surprise. They both scurried away, but the little encounter stayed in their minds. The next day, Whiskers found herself trapped on top of a high fence, unsure how to get down. To her surprise, Rover came to her rescue. He barked for help, and his owner came out to assist Whiskers down from the fence. Grateful, Whiskers thanked Rover, and they started talking. They talked about their likes and dislikes, their fears and their dreams. They realized that even though they were different, they had a lot in common. Whiskers enjoyed Rover's enthusiastic tales about chasing squirrels, and Rover found Whiskers' stories of midnight adventures fascinating. As days turned into weeks, Whiskers and Rover became great friends. They played together, shared their meals, and even took naps side by side in the sun. The neighborhood noticed and smiled at the unlikely friendship. One afternoon, the little boy lost his favorite toy in the park. Whiskers and Rover saw how sad he was and decided to help. Working together, they searched the park and finally found the toy under a bush. The boy was overjoyed, and Whiskers and Rover felt proud of their teamwork. And so, dear listener, Whiskers and Rover taught everyone a valuable lesson about acceptance and friendship. No matter how different we may seem, we can find common ground and form lasting bonds. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams be filled with friendships as unique and beautiful as that of Whiskers and Rover. Remember, embracing our differences makes the world a more interesting and loving place. Close your eyes and drift off to sleep, imagining a world where everyone is a friend. Once upon a time, in a quaint village, surrounded by rolling hills and babbling brooks, there lived a young boy named Oliver. Oliver had a keen ear for music and loved nothing more than listening to the songs of birds, the rustling of leaves, and the gentle rhythms of nature. One chilly evening, while Oliver was exploring his grandmother's attic, he discovered a dusty, old music box. It was ornately decorated with intricate patterns and shimmering jewels. Curious, Oliver wound up the music box, and out flowed a melody so enchanting and beautiful that it seemed to fill the entire room with warmth. As the melody played, Oliver felt a strange sensation. The room around him seemed to fade away, and he found himself transported into a magical world. He was in a forest, but unlike any forest he had known. The trees swayed rhythmically, and their leaves shimmered in all the colours of the rainbow. In this mystical forest, Oliver encountered various animals, each playing its own unique music. There was a group of birds chirping in harmony, a deer with antlers that rang like bells, and a stream that flowed with a melody more beautiful than any song Oliver had ever heard. As he journeyed through the forest, Oliver realized that each melody affected his emotions differently. The bird's song filled him with joy. The deer's chimes brought a sense of peace. And the stream's tune was soothing and contemplative. Lost in the beauty of the music, Oliver didn't notice the sky darkening and a soft, melancholic melody beginning to play. This melody came from a lone wolf sitting atop a hill, howling a tune that spoke of longing and loneliness. Oliver felt a pang of empathy and realized that music could convey feelings too deep for words. Determined to help, Oliver approached the wolf. Using the music box, he played a tune of friendship and understanding. The wolf listened, and slowly its melody changed, harmonizing with Oliver's. The forest lit up with a warm glow, and a feeling of happiness and togetherness filled the air. Eventually, the music box's melody came to an end, and Oliver found himself back in his grandmother's attic. He held the music box close, knowing it was more than just an object, but a key to understanding the profound impact of music on emotions. And so, dear listener, Oliver's adventure with the mysterious music box taught him about the beauty and power of music. He learned that music can express what words cannot, connect us with our feelings, and bring us closer to others. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams tonight be filled with the sweet melodies of your own magical music box. Let the music guide your emotions, bringing you joy, peace, and comfort as you drift off to sleep. Once upon a time, in a world filled with bustling cities and vast, untouched wilderness, there lived a curious and bright young boy named Charley. Charley was fascinated by dinosaurs and spent hours reading about these magnificent creatures that once roamed the earth. His dream was to become a paleontologist and uncover ancient secrets buried deep beneath the ground. One sunny day, while exploring the dense forest near his home, Charley stumbled upon a strange object, half buried in the ground. It was large, oval-shaped, and had a peculiar speckled pattern. With his heart racing with excitement, Charley carefully unearthed the object. To his amazement, it looked exactly like a dinosaur egg. Charley knew he needed expert advice, so he took his discovery to the local museum, where a kind paleontologist, Dr. Williams, examined it. After careful study, Dr. Williams confirmed that it was, indeed, a replica of a dinosaur egg, made to look astonishingly real. Though slightly disappointed, Charley's curiosity only grew. Dr. Williams, seeing his enthusiasm, invited Charley to learn more about paleontology and the environment. Over the next few weeks, Charley and Dr. Williams embarked on a journey of discovery. They explored different types of fossils and learned how paleontologists used them to understand the history of life on Earth. Charley was fascinated by the stories each fossil told about the creatures that once inhabited our planet. Dr. Williams explained the importance of fossils in understanding extinction events and how they serve as a reminder of the fragility of life. He stressed the significance of caring for our environment to prevent further loss of species. Charley was struck by the thought that his generation had the power to protect the Earth and its inhabitants. Charley also learned about the dinosaurs' extinction and how it led to the rise of other forms of life. He understood that every species has a role in the ecosystem and that maintaining the balance of nature is crucial. Inspired by his experience, Charley started a club at school to raise awareness about environmental conservation. He shared his knowledge about paleontology, the importance of preserving fossils, and the lessons they teach us about our planet's past, present, and future. And so, dear listener, even though the egg was not real, Charley's journey led him to real and important discoveries about our world. He learned that by understanding the past and caring for our environment, we can help protect the future. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams take you on adventures to ancient times, where dinosaurs roam and the Earth holds many secrets yet to be discovered. Remember, like Charley, you have the power to make a difference in our world. Sleep peacefully, dreaming of the wonders that await your discovery. Once upon a time, in a world where the stars twinkled like diamonds in the night sky, there lived a young boy named Max. Max was an imaginative and adventurous boy, but he had a habit of misplacing his toys. His room was filled with half-finished puzzles, one-wheeled cars, and teddy bears missing an eye. One night, as Max gazed out of his window at the starry sky, he noticed a twinkling light that seemed to beckon him. Filled with curiosity and a sense of adventure, Max wished upon the star to find a place where all his lost toys might be. To his astonishment, a beam of light descended from the sky, enveloping him in a warm glow. In the blink of an eye, Max found himself transported to a magical place beyond his wildest dreams. He had arrived at the lost planet of toys. This planet was a wonderland where toys of all kinds lived. There were mountains of stuffed animals, valleys filled with building blocks, and rivers of marbles. The toys were alive, playing and laughing, each with its own story of how it came to be on this planet. As Max explored, he came across many of his own lost toys. There was his favourite action figure, now leading an expedition of toy soldiers, and his old model aeroplane, soaring high in the toy planet's sky. Each reunion filled Max with joy, but also a pang of guilt. He realised how carelessly he had treated these beloved items. Max met a wise old teddy bear, the unofficial guardian of the planet. The teddy bear taught Max about the importance of caring for his belongings and the joy that comes from cherishing and rediscovering old treasures. He explained that while the toys were happy here, they missed being loved and played with by children. With a new understanding and a promise to be more responsible, Max wished to return home. In a swirl of light, he was back in his room, with the first rays of dawn peeking through his window. Inspired by his journey, Max began to take better care of his toys. He fixed the broken ones, found homes for those he no longer played with, and cherished each and every one. He shared the story of the lost planet of toys with his friends, spreading the message of care and rediscovery. And so, dear listener, Max's adventure to the lost planet of toys taught him to appreciate and care for what he had. He learned that each toy had its own story, and that by taking care of them, he could rediscover the joy they brought to his life. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams be filled with magical adventures to wondrous planets. Remember to cherish and care for the things you love, for they hold memories and joy. Sleep tight, surrounded by the comfort of your own treasured belongings, and wake up ready for new adventures. Once upon a time, in a field full of vibrant flowers and busy bees, there grew a sunflower named Sunny. Unlike the other sunflowers, which stood tall and proud, reaching for the sun, Sunny was shy and kept her face turned towards the ground. She was afraid that if she looked up, she wouldn't be as beautiful or bright as the other flowers. Sunny spent her days watching the other sunflowers bask in the sun's warm rays, listening to the birds sing and feeling the gentle breeze. She longed to join in and feel the sun's touch on her face, but her fear held her back. One day, a friendly ladybug landed on Sunny's stem. The ladybug noticed how Sunny always looked down and asked her about it. Sunny shared her fears, feeling a little embarrassed. The ladybug listened carefully and then shared a secret with Sunny. The ladybird told Sunny about the sun's magical powers. She explained that the sun gives energy and strength to all living things, and it helps flowers grow and blossom in their own unique way. The ladybug encouraged Sunny to be brave and turn her face to the sun, just for a moment, to feel its warmth. The next morning, as the first rays of sunlight touched the field, Sunny felt a newfound courage. With a deep breath, she slowly turned her face towards the sun. To her surprise, the sun's rays were gentle and warm, filling her with a sense of strength and confidence she had never felt before. As the days passed, Sunny grew taller and more confident. She realized that facing the sun made her feel alive and vibrant. Her petals began to glow with a bright yellow hue, and she became one of the most beautiful sunflowers in the field. Sunny's transformation inspired the other flowers in the field. They saw how facing her fears and embracing the sun's light had helped Sunny bloom into her true self. The field became a place of encouragement where every flower supported each other in growing and facing their fears. And so, dear listener, Sunny the shy sunflower learned the importance of self-confidence and facing one's fears. She discovered that by stepping out of her comfort zone, she could fully blossom and shine her light. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams be filled with fields of sunflowers, turning their faces towards the sun with confidence and joy. Remember, like Sunny, you have the strength to face your fears and grow into the brightest version of yourself. Sleep peacefully, knowing that each new day brings an opportunity to shine even brighter. Once upon a time, in a land of towering mountains and deep, echoing valleys, there lived a family of giants. Among them was Gulliver, who, despite being a giant, was the smallest in his family. He was often teased by his siblings for being only 10 feet tall, while they towered over him at 20 feet or more. Gulliver, feeling out of place in his own home, decided to go on a journey to find where he truly belonged. He ventured into the wide world, his heart full of hope and his mind brimming with dreams. As he travelled, Gulliver encountered various creatures who were much smaller than him. In a village, he met humans who were amazed by his size. To them, Gulliver was a giant, enormous and awe-inspiring. They looked up to him, both literally and figuratively, asking for his help with tasks that needed a giant's strength. Gulliver was surprised. In his family, he had always felt too small. But here, in the village, he was seen as strong and capable. He helped them build houses, lift heavy objects, and even rescued a cat stuck in a tall tree. With each task, Gulliver's confidence grew. One day, while helping the villagers, Gulliver met an elderly, wise woman. She saw his inner struggle and shared her wisdom with him. She told him that size is a matter of perspective. In some places, he might be the smallest, but in others, he could be the largest. What truly mattered was how he saw himself and what he did with his abilities. Gulliver pondered her words and realized she was right. He had been so focused on his physical size compared to his family that he had failed to see how his own strengths and the positive impact he could have on others With a new sense of self-confidence, Gulliver continued his journey, helping others along the way. He realized that his size, whether big or small, was a unique part of who he was, and it allowed him to do things others couldn't. Eventually, Gulliver returned to his family, standing tall and proud. He shared his adventures and how he had helped many people. His family saw him in a new light, respecting him for his courage and kind heart. And so, dear listener, Gulliver the tiny giant learned an important lesson about self-acceptance and perspective. He understood that his worth was not determined by how he compared to others, but by his actions and character. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams be filled with adventures that help you see the greatness within you. Remember, like Gulliver, you are unique and capable of making a big difference, no matter your size. Sleep soundly, embracing who you are, and wake up ready to face the world with confidence. Once upon a time, in a quaint little town, surrounded by sweeping meadows and lush forests, there lived a curious boy named Jamie. Jamie had an adventurous spirit and a heart full of wonder, always on the lookout for something magical to discover. One breezy afternoon, while exploring the attic of his family's old house, Jamie stumbled upon a small, intricate box of matches. It was no ordinary box. Its sides were adorned with mystical symbols, and it shimmered in an otherworldly glow. Unable to resist the allure, Jamie carefully opened the box. To his astonishment, instead of matches, the box contained a tiny dragon, no larger than a sparrow, with scales that sparkled like jewels under the attic's dim light. The dragon fluttered its delicate wings and let out a gentle puff of smoke, looking up at Jamie with bright, curious eyes. Overjoyed by his discovery, Jamie decided to call the little dragon Sparks. He was enchanted by Sparks' playful nature and the way he lit up the room, quite literally, with his fiery breath. Jamie and Sparks quickly became inseparable, sharing adventures and secrets. However, Jamie soon realized that caring for a dragon, even one as small as Sparks, was not without its challenges. Sparks while adorable and affectionate, had a tendency to breathe fire when excited or startled, singeing the curtains, furniture, and even Jamie's homework. Jamie tried his best to teach Sparks to be careful, but accidents continued to happen. One night, after a day full of play and laughter, Jamie fell asleep with Sparks nestled comfortably beside him. Unbeknownst to Jamie, Sparks began to snore softly, emitting tiny sparks. Suddenly, a small blast of fire escaped Sparks' nostrils, setting the room ablaze. The smoke alarm's shrill beep woke Jamie, and his parents rushed in to rescue him and Sparks. The fire was quickly extinguished, but Jamie's bedroom was left charred and blackened. It was then that Jamie realised the gravity of the situation, and with a heavy heart, revealed Sparks to his parents. Understanding the bond between Jamie and Sparks, his parents explained gently but firmly that while Sparks was indeed beautiful and had brought joy into their lives, he was too dangerous to keep in a human home. They emphasised that Sparks belonged in his own habitat, where he could live freely without the risk of harming others or himself. Though it was a difficult decision, Jamie knew it was the right thing to do. Together with his parents, he found a safe and suitable place for Sparks in a secluded glen, where Sparks could fly and breathe fire to his heart's content. As they said their goodbyes, Jamie felt a mixture of sadness and relief. He watched Sparks soar into the sky, finally free to be his true self. And in that moment, Jamie understood that love sometimes means letting go for the sake of those we care about. And so, dear listener, Jamie learned a valuable lesson about responsibility, the challenges of caring for a wild creature, and the importance of not playing with fire. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams be filled with magical discoveries and the wisdom to care for them wisely. Remember, like Jamie and Sparks, that true friendship thrives on understanding and respect for each other's well-being. Sleep tight, knowing that sometimes the hardest choices lead to the happiest endings. Once upon a time, in a cozy house filled with laughter and love, lived a spirited little girl named Ellie. Ellie had a boundless imagination and a curiosity as vast as the sky. She loved adventures, especially those that took her to uncharted territories within her own home. One extraordinary day, while playing hide-and-seek with her cat, Whiskers, Ellie found herself shrinking suddenly, as if by magic. She was no bigger than a spool of thread. With a surprised gasp, she slipped between the cushions of the sofa and fell into the crack, landing softly on a pile of forgotten pocket lint. To Ellie's amazement, she had discovered a hidden world beneath the sofa, a place where pocket lint people bustled about their day, building homes from lost earrings, fashioning gardens from forgotten flower petals, and sailing on boats made from old stamps. This was a city of lost things, where every discarded item found a second home. The pocket lint people, with their clothes stitched from snippets of fabric and hats crafted from bits of ribbon, welcomed Ellie with open arms. They introduced her to their way of life, showing her how they transformed Ellie's lost pencils into skyscrapers and misplaced marbles into glowing street lamps. Ellie was enchanted. She danced at a party held in her honour on a dance floor made of discarded CDs, reflecting dazzling lights. She rode on the back of a toy car, now a noble steed for the lint people, and helped harvest cotton from the top of Q-tips in the fields. But as much fun as she was having, Ellie began to miss her family and the world she knew. Seeing her sadness, the pocket lint people gathered around her, sharing their wisdom. They taught her that nothing is ever truly lost, and that even the smallest items can bring joy and purpose. Determined to help Ellie return home, the pocket lint people devised a plan. Using a spring from a broken pen, they constructed a contraption that would help Ellie grow back to her original size. With a chorus of cheers and a gentle nudge, Ellie was propelled out of the sofa crack, growing as she soared through the air, landing gracefully back in her living room. Back to her usual size. Ellie looked at the sofa with a smile, grateful for the adventure and the lessons learned. She began to drop little tokens of appreciation down the crack for her new friends. A shiny button here, a colourful paperclip there. Always listening for the soft thank you that floated up in response. Ellie's parents, puzzled by the soft voices coming from the sofa, could only marvel at Ellie's laughter and the sparkle in her eyes as she whispered secrets to the crack in the sofa. And so, dear listener, Ellie's unexpected journey beneath the sofa was not just an adventure, but a journey of discovery and friendship. It taught her to see the value of little things, the importance of kindness, and the magic that exists right under our nose. Good night, little dreamer. May you drift off to sleep with dreams of magical worlds beneath your feet, and awaken with the joy of finding wonder in the everyday. Remember, like Ellie, that adventure and friendship can be found in the most unexpected places. Once upon a time, in a lush meadow buzzing with life, under the gentle warmth of the sun, fluttered countless butterflies. Among them was a unique butterfly named Crystal, known for her stunning fragile glass wings. Unlike her friends, Crystal had never taken to the skies. Fearful of breaking her delicate wings, she spent her days watching others soar, feeling a pang of longing with each graceful loop they made through the air. Crystal's heart ached to join in, to feel the wind under her wings. But the fear of falling and shattering held her back. She believed her glass wings were a disability that grounded her, while all she wished for was to fly. One day, filled with the promise of new beginnings, Crystal met another butterfly who changed her life. This new friend, named Aurora, also had wings made of glass, yet she flew with confidence and grace. Aurora shared her story with Crystal, telling her of the initial fears and the countless times she had to pick herself up after a tumble. She explained that although her wings were made of glass, they were strong, capable of carrying them to the skies if only they dared to try. Encouraged by Aurora's words and her own desire to experience flight, Crystal decided it was time to face her fears. With a deep breath, she attempted her first takeoff. It wasn't easy. There were a few false starts and tumbles, but Crystal didn't give up. Finally, with determination fueling her spirit, Crystal took to the air. Her wings, though seemingly delicate, were stronger than she had ever imagined. As she soared, the sunlight filtered through her glass wings, casting dazzling rainbows all around, a testament to her newfound strength and courage. Crystal learned that her wings, which she once saw as a limitation, were a source of unique beauty and strength. She understood that having a disability did not mean she couldn't do the same things others did. It just meant she had to approach them differently, with courage and perseverance. And so, dear listener, The story of Crystal and her glass wings teaches us a powerful lesson about overcoming fears and the strength that lies within us all. It reminds us that disabilities are not a hindrance, but aspects of our uniqueness that we can embrace and celebrate. Good night, little dreamer. May you always remember, like Crystal, that you have the strength within you to soar through the sky, no matter the challenges you face. Dream of flying high, spreading your own beautiful rainbows wherever you go. Once upon a time, in a bustling classroom, filled with the buzz of young minds at work, Lucas made an astonishing discovery. During a science experiment, he found that his hands had somehow become magnetic. His teacher, wide-eyed with amazement, and his classmates looked on in disbelief as spoons, paper clips, and even their wristwatches clung to Lucas's hands as if drawn by an invisible force. Lucas found his new ability thrilling. He revelled in the attention and quickly became the centre of playful pranks. At lunch, he amused himself by pulling spoons from his friends' hands.
Hey!
And on the rollerblading rink, he showed off by repelling his friends with a laugh, enjoying his unique magnetic repel. However, the fun came to an abrupt halt the next morning. Lucas woke up to find his bedroom transformed into a magnetics layer. With every metal object in the house attached to him. Panic set in as Lucas, covered in a hodgepodge of metallic items, felt the weight of his situation. In a desperate attempt to help, his parents rushed him to the car, only for it to tip over and join the growing cluster of metal surrounding Lucas. Standing outside, enveloped in a cocoon of metal objects, with even the family car stuck to him, Lucas felt a wave of despair. Was this to be his life now? A walking magnet, attracting every piece of metal in sight? But then, Lucas's dad had a spark of inspiration. Dashing into the house, he emerged with a pair of bright yellow marigold gloves. Lucas, eager for any solution, quickly slipped them on. To his relief and joy, the gloves acted as a barrier between his magnetic hands and the metallic world around him. Instantly, the chaotic pile of metal clattered to the ground, leaving Lucas free from his magnetic curse. While the marigold gloves were hardly a fashion statement, they granted Lucas the normalcy he longed for. He could now navigate the world without fear of becoming a human magnet. And for those moments when he wanted a bit of fun, a quick slip off the gloves allowed him to playfully prank his friends, making him an unforgettable character in school. And so, dear listener, Lucas's story teaches us that sometimes the most unusual problems have the simplest solutions. It's a tale of discovery, challenges, and ingenious solutions, reminding us of the importance of creativity and adaptability in life's unexpected moments. Good night, little dreamer. May you always find clever ways to navigate the challenges you face, and remember, like Lucas, that sometimes the best solutions come wrapped in bright yellow gloves. Once upon a time, in a sunny corner of the world, where gardens bloomed and laughter filled the air, lived a kitten named Pickle. True to his name, Pickle had a knack for finding himself in all sorts of pickles, but none quite like the one he'd discover one lazy afternoon. Pickle, with his fur as soft as a whisper and eyes full of mischief, stumbled upon a secret. It was whispered to him by a butterfly, who had overheard it from a bustling bee. This secret wasn't bright or bubbly. It was a heavy secret, one that didn't flutter in his heart like the wings of a butterfly, but sank like a stone in a pond. At first, Pickle was excited to be the keeper of a secret, feeling a sense of importance. But this secret didn't bring smiles or sparkles to his day. Instead, it made his whiskers droop and his playful pounce lose its spring. He watched the other kittens play, their laughter echoing under the sun, and felt a shadow cloud over his little heart. Pickle realized this wasn't the kind of secret that made life more enchanting. It was a secret that made him wish he could find a way out of the pickle he was in. He remembered what his mum had always told him. A secret isn't a secret if it isn't fun, and if it isn't fun, you should always tell your mum. With a heavy heart, Pickle sought his mum, his tiny paws carrying him faster than his courage. He found her, basking in the afternoon sun, her eyes closed and her purrs a gentle melody. Gently nudging her awake, Pickle whispered the secret into her ear, the words tumbling out like raindrops from a cloud. His mum listened, her eyes reflecting understanding and love. She nuzzled Pickle close, whispering words of wisdom that lifted the heaviness from his heart. Secrets are meant to be light and bright, my little Pickle. If they weigh you down, then it's time to let them go, to share them with someone who can help you carry the load. Pickle felt the stone in his heart dissolve, replaced by the warmth of his mum's love and the lightness of being free from a secret that wasn't fun. He learned an important lesson that day. Not all secrets are meant to be kept, especially those that steal your joy. From then on, Pickle only kept secrets that made his heart dance and his paws prance. He shared adventures and whispers with the wind, knowing that if ever a secret was too heavy, his mum was there, a beacon of love and safety. And so, dear listener, remember Pickle's tale. A secret isn't a secret if it isn't fun. And if it isn't fun, you should always tell someone you trust. May your dreams be filled with fun secrets and the wisdom to share the ones that aren't. Good night, little dreamer. Sleep snugly, knowing that the morning brings a new day, ripe for adventure and light-hearted secrets, just like Pickle's.